Good morning, students. So today we are going to see about the lab experiment. So creation of XML file using DDT and XML schema, right? So first you have to know what is XML schema. So XML schema XML stands for extensible markup language. So it is designed to store our data from store and transport data from client part to server part and from server part to client part, so which is understand to be both human and machine readable form. So that is, it can be able to understand by architecture and both humans also. So first, what is XML? So we are seeing about web technology. So whenever we are going to send some request to the from client part to the server part and server part to client part, so in client part our web pages has been decided using HTML. So HTML and CSS and some client part validation we have done in a client part. So that data, whenever we are giving request, has to be processed to the server side. The data cannot be transferred as it is in HTML web pages. So the data has to be converted to XML format, and that XML format data has to be transport our data from client part to server part, and in server part our data is searched, and for that request we will get response back in web pages and HTML pages. So it has to be follow some rules and regulations. So it has to be have root node, that it has to be properly costed, and it is case sensitive and properly nested, and are all the attributes values to be quoted. So this is the structure of an XML document. So first I have taken bookstore. Under that bookstore I have taken book, next title, author, year and price, and each and every tag have certain values. So it is XML is user defined tags. You can define whatever the tags you want. Next, DTT, I have to write DTT for an XML document, that is document type structure definition, which defines the structure of an legal elements and attributes of the HTML document. So this is the example. So here I have written one XML document. So for that I have to create a DDT. So first one, open tag, exclamatory symbol, document type, note. Under note, what are the attributes I have stored? To, from, heading and body. I have to store this in an attribute value. Note tag, under that I have to store to, from, heading tag and body tag. Under that I have to define what are the attributes I have taken. For to tag I have used phrased data, and from tag I have used to phrased data, and heading tag I have used to phrased data, and body tag I have used to phrased data. So an XML schema which define the structure of an XML document. So for what XML document you are going to create, it has to define some schema. So it has to follow some structure, and that structure is called XSD, that is XML schema definition. So we have written one XML document. For that you have to create DDT. They have to create XML schema also. That's the schema which comes under for following data types. It is allowable document, so it is easier to validate and easier to data access and easier to find data patterns and easier to convert data between different data types. So it also follows some structure. First, root tag has to be considered as element, that is note. Under that we are going to consider as complex type. Under that all the data is considered as sequence. So first is sequences, element name, that is 2, and what data type we are going to store, that is XS string. Second type name, that is from attribute. Under that what data type. Next, heading attribute and what type, and body attribute and what type. Everything has to be started with XS, which denotes XML schema. And last you have to close your sequence type, a complex type and element type. So we'll see with an example. So this is your sixth experiment. So you have to create a schema, XML and DTT. So I have taken library management system. For that I have to create XML. So first I have considered root tag at library. Under library I have taken different books. So first book is this my sub root tag. Under that book I have stored title, author, ISBN and publishers and year. These 5 values I have taken under book. So I have stored some values. Under that next book, similarly third book, fourth book and fifth book. So I have stored 5 different books values. So whenever we have designed this in a web page, our data will be traveled from client part to server part like in XML part. XML our data will be get forwarded. So for that we are using XML. Next you have to create DDT for this XML document. So what root tag we have taken? Library. Under that everything is considered to be as element. So library, under that book. Under book, what are the element you have taken? Title, author, ISBN, publishers, and year. So what are the values we have taken here? So you have to note that. After that title, we have to frame phrased data, author phrased data, ISBN phrased data, publishers phrased data, and year phrased data. So you have to mention all the attributes for the book values. Okay. Next you have to write the schema part. So schema starts with your URL, access schema URL. Next you have considered a root tag, that is element name equal library, complex type, sequence, under that sequence. So first element is what? Title value, what data type you have mentioned. So second element name, author attribute, its data type. Third is ISBN number, its data type. Fourth publishers, its data type. So fifth one, year and its data type. Whatever the values you have created in a XML file. So we have created XML file for a library, that is your root tag. Last we are closing our root tag as library. Next we have stored and particular book tags. I have taken different books. Okay, for this alone I have to create DDT. I have created DDT for this, and similarly for this I have to create a XML schema. So what we have studied in database management system. So schema which defines the structure of a document. Here it defines the structure of an XML document. So that is XML schema. So how we will see how to execute this program. So I open my programming. So here I have saved my experiment, that is library details.xml. So open your notepad, copy paste this XML file. So this file have been get paste. Okay, I save that file using .xml. So this save this file as library details.xml file. Okay, so save that file in XML file. So you will get some XML document like this. So whatever the content we have saved here, so you will get in an XML structure. So define this, it shows the structure. If you have properly created, it will show the nested tags like this. Okay, this is what the information we have stored. So we can able to list out also. So I have created the XML file, right? So if it is, so next you have to create a DDT for this XML schema. So for that, go to the online tutorial. You have a liquidtechnologies.com. So it is an online tutorial for converting your XML file to a XST. Okay, so paste your sample XML document here. So sorry, this is XML schema. So paste your XML file. So it will create your DDT value. So if you follow correct structure, what we have explained, so it will create schema. So what I have mentioned here, so it created schema for me. So what order I have followed, schema I have created for an XML document. So schema is just a structure of the XML document, how we are going to write a XML document. For that we need some structure. That structure has to be followed in XML schema. Okay, so this is the XML schema I have created. For that I have to create an validation form. So paste this online validation. So you will create online validation, and also paste your XML file here. Okay, after that you will paste your XML schema file here. So if you click here, it will show validation. So if you followed correct structures and correct syntaxes, the schema will be validated. Okay, so click here. So click here, validate. So if you follow correct structure and correct order, it will be get validated. So if I'm making, see, if I'm deleting this, so your library tag will not be get executed and it will not be validated. So we have missed something. See, it has showing that we have missed something. So it is a way of properly executing your XML file, and we have created an XML schema and we have validated also. We have checked whether it is correct or wrong. So now we have to start again your root tag slash. So if you enter next, if you have done validation, you will have validate. See, now the document is validated. So validation means, so you have properly followed the rules and regulations for creating your XML file and created schema also. Okay, so this is how our values is converted from user part. These schemas and this XML values will be converted to, it will be forward to a server part, and the server, it will form some validations and data will be get processed, and for that particular request you will get response back from the server pages. Okay, thank you.